Well, yesterday, EA found themselves in some hot water, specifically online on social media. And this happened on Twitter. I saw it when they first posted a tweet up. And from there, it just snowballed into people essentially roasting EA for like 24 hours straight. And after all this, looking back on it, this might be one of the most entertaining things EA has given us in years. And that's saying something because they're supposed to be making games, and instead, they gave us a gem of a tweet. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out a ton. And if you're new here to the Spawn Wave Plus channel, make sure you're subscribed down below. So let's take a look. This is the tweet that EA made. Obviously, just lacking any kind of self-awareness. And I want to say this is one person who's running their social media account on Twitter that decided this was a good idea, but they say they're a 10, but they only like playing single-player games. Now, I tend to be more out of the loop on these, like, copy pasta meme phrases where people try to twist and turn them into something funny. I assume they're a 10, but is, like, I don't know, something people copy and paste and put online. At this point, I just assume if I don't get it, it's probably because I'm old. Like, that's just it, right? That's the way it is. I understand. This isn't the days of me in high school with Newgrounds anymore. There's all kinds of other stuff happening online. But they're a 10, but they only like playing single-player games. I assume that when they sent this, they thought it was funny in the context of, oh, this person is a 10, but they don't like playing multiplayer games. So you're not going to be playing any games with them. I guess, right? That was the idea, is they like to play by themselves, not with others. So this obviously is, again, lacking a ton of self-awareness from EA, who for a long time now has mostly been known as the company that forces as much as they can into this live service territory. Even games that don't belong there will spend a ton of money trying to prop certain games up that are designed from the ground up for these microtransactions, these season passes, and these multiplayer aspects like Anthem, and it just doesn't work out, right? They leave the Christmas lights up at Easter. It's just because no one's paying attention to it because it failed so badly. So, of course, people see this. Even I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's not a good idea. It was too late. Everyone saw it, and they just got pounded into the ground. And there were some pretty good ones in the replies, and that's what I mean when I say this is one of the most entertaining things EA has given us for years now. I mean, maybe since Jedi Fallen Order. Yeah, that might be it. And we'll see if they can top this tweet, actually, with Jedi Survivor. But, like, Tom Henderson, they're a 10, but they blame Battlefield's 2042's launch on Halo Infinite. They did do that. Jacksepticeye, they're a 10. Thought this tweet was a good idea. There's Donkey in there. How are your tweets worse than your games? Again, they're more entertaining right now than their games. I have to give them credit here. I mean, the replies are what's making this so entertaining, obviously. But it gets interesting because you have Vince Zampella in here who is like, oh, what are you doing? I mean, Vince Zampella, of course, running Respawn, creating things like Jedi Fallen Order, now Jedi Survivor, which, by the way, EA is so well known for jamming microtransactions and loot boxes in their games that people are still asking when loot boxes are going in Jedi Fallen Order. Well, there's got to be microtransactions, right? I mean, you can change the color of your lightsaber with $1 or something. They're not there yet. And I say yet because, you know what? I'll admit, if they showed up next week in the game, I wouldn't be shocked. I'd be like, yeah, that's EA. That's about right. And obviously, Jedi Survivor is also under a microscope. So I assume that there won't be microtransactions in it, but I can't absolutely say, that that'll be the case because of EA. I will give Paul Tassi a lot of credit here because this might be the best reply. Understandable, you're unfamiliar with the concept of 10s. That one hits pretty hard. All right, so that's good. Even Jeff, everybody replied. I will admit I thought about replying and I didn't just because it was like it's over. Like it was to the point where like it's just beating a dead horse at that point. When I was looking at it, even Alpha in there with the Yakuza slap for EA, Gene Park just reminding them that they had Anthem, and people just pointing out review scores all over the place. And Yeah, there's a good point here after Youngya posted about the review scores for a lot of their multiplayer games, which Battlefield. Oh, gosh, Battlefield. People pointing out that the single player games are the ones that get like good review scores. And I would even say, depending on it, maybe making the most money. I mean, the problem is some of these games like a Battlefield cost a lot of money to make. And I do question the return on investment as opposed to just making single player games, sure, but ones that you can make maybe a bit quicker and with less resources. And that's something that this industry is getting further and further away from because all these companies are looking for those 50, 60-hour experiences and then build on top of that. It's kind of to the point where these companies want to make just less games and try to profit more from those titles that they release every 5 or 6 years. And EA is like at the front of the line for that. This is something else that was floating around about this. It was a quote tweet, and there are so many quote tweets, so many replies to this thing. I mean, it's just going to get lost in the shuffle. But Zach from Visceral Studios, remember Visceral? As they say, the company that shut down my studio and laid off 100 great developers because we were making a single player game. So, I mean, think of like the developers and studios right now under the EA umbrella who are working on a single player game, like BioWare working on Dragon Age right now. And Dragon Age is a game that no one believes is going to be free of the live service microtransaction stuff that EA is doing. Despite them saying that it's not going to go that path, we all just assume it will until the game comes out. And even then, people will just question it like they do with Jedi Fallen Order, asking, all right, where are the loot boxes? When are they going to show up? But yeah, EA, they shut down a lot of studios if they don't work out with things like these single-player games. Visceral was working on a single-player game. They shut it down. And once again, the social media manager should have made the rounds to make sure this was a good tweet to send. But hey, shout out to EA for making Thursday really, really funny at their expense. As I said, it just blew up online, and I don't think the intern or the social media manager was expecting any of that, even though if you read it back at least twice, you probably would have understood. And they came back, quote tweeted it, and tried to repair the situation by saying, oh no, it makes you an 11 if you like if you just play the single player games. Like, it's a little late for that one, but let me know what you guys think about this down below. I think some people got really mad at EA over the tweet, but it's, like I said, it's a social media manager who put it up there, and it's just this massive backfire if I've ever seen one from, I mean, really a branding that's trying to fit in with what the kids are into now with these social media trends. Next time, it's probably better to just leave it in the drafts. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.